I don't know about you, but I've been needing some way to find just an easy, low pressure, no barriers to entry way to get in a daily painting practice. It is my number one struggle between working full time, raising a family, and just living life right now. Just being able to take 10 minutes or something out of my day to practice my watercolor, I think will be huge. And I need a way to make that easy for myself so I don't overthink it. So I've decided to finally break out this color meditation deck by Lisa Solomon. I thought, what better way to really kickstart a daily watercolor habit than using something like this, which reduces the number of choices I have to make, and it just gives me some guidelines of what I can paint. I'm also going to use this Daniel Smith 24 color palette. Now you can use whatever you want. I just have this and I want to get to know these paints more. You don't have to use professional watercolors if you don't want, if you want to follow this along with me, but that's just what I'm doing. Also have this watercolor journal that I bought maybe a year or so ago. It's been sitting in my bookshelf, so I haven't used it yet. The brand is Tumuata, if you can see that. It is 25% cotton, and there are 24 pages in here. And so I figured, even though I've got some sketchbooks on the go, I'm going to break out a new watercolor book and use this to document my World Watercolor Month journey for 2025. So I am familiar with the paper. I think it is decent. It's not the world's best paper, but I think it's good enough for something like this. Okay, let's talk about how this color meditation deck works. So I'll open the cover here. It's in a cute little box. And there's a book in here, 500 prompts to explore watercolor and spark your creativity. And again, this is by Lisa Solomon. I'm not going to go through this whole book, but Lisa does have some, so she's got some backstory in here, which is kind of fun to read. She's got a crash course in color theory, looking at color wheels, which is kind of fun, and complementary palettes and triads and what all those things mean. She talks about saturation, some techniques, and I know I'm going through this super fast, but my purpose wasn't a review on this. It's more to get to how to use this deck. And so Lisa talks about here being ready for your practice and making sure you got some water, some paper, some paints, everything ready to go. And then she has two types of cards here. There's some parameter cards. Put this to the side for a minute. There's some parameter cards, and I think there's, I don't know, maybe 10 or a dozen of these. And they are these purple cards, and they have things like palette order, fast versus slow, limited palette. And on the flip sides of those cards, there's examples of what you can do that are just guidelines. Then she also includes this much larger pack, and these are color meditation cards. So they all have a description on them, describing an exercise that you can, follow to the T. You can use it as a stepping off point if you want. And then she's got some examples that she's painted on those. So I thought this would be really fun just to reduce the decision-making process that I often will use to procrastinate. And so back to this book. So there's a couple of ways that Lisa suggests using these cards. The first way she suggests is scenario 1, pull a color meditation card and go crazy. So that's one of this large pile of cards. So shuffle the deck and just pick a random card. Scenario 2, you could pull 2 color meditation cards and combine them and see how creative you can get. Or you could pull 1 color meditation card and one of these parameter cards. So for example, dots and a limited palette. Or scenario 4, she suggests you could pull 1 color meditation card and 2 parameter cards, and some of those might even offer you different options. So for example, dots and color schemes, where you can choose from a monochromatic or an analogous or a complementary palette, and fast versus slow. And right there with all these combinations, you've got 6 potential meditations. So I think that's kind of cool. She's also got some resources here at the back. But I'm going to start and use my new sketchbook and see if I can just create a short daily video tracking this for World Watercolor Month. What do you think? You want to follow along with me? Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes. Promise they're closed. And I'm going to pick one of these cards. I don't know what it is, and I feel kind of awkward and vulnerable doing this with my eyes closed right now. All right, what is it? Color wheels. Oh, I don't want to do this one. Okay, I'm not going to shuffle this blind. I'm going to do... I might do flat brush layering. That sounds fun. Okay, I'm not going to close my eyes and shuffle anymore. I'm just going to pick one. Okay, so this color meditation card. Sorry about the shine here. She says, I continually use color meditations to explore and practice techniques and color principles. Technique-wise, one of the hardest things to create in watercolor is a flat wash. If you practice, it gets easier and easier, but it's really rare to nail on your first try. One of the most intriguing things about watercolor is its transparency and its ability to layer. Essentially, the possibilities are endless, and you can also use layering to create real depth in color. Yellow with a thin red layer over it will make a different kind of orange than just mixing red and yellow together. Here I use my 1-inch flat brush to do a single stroke of series of colors. For the cleanest results, wait for each stroke to dry before you layer on top of it. But I'm also all for seeing what happens if you don't. Okay, this is her example. So I'm going to set up my page and we're going to do flat brush layering as part of World Watercolor Month for 2025. Okay, so I'm all set up now. I've taped off a section of my page, and I did that because one, I like a nice clean border, and two, I wanted to make sure I left some space to write some notes here about maybe what I like and what I didn't like, talking about where I got the reference from and things like that. So I've taped this off. I use this Nichiban tape that I buy from St. Louis Art Supply. It never tears up my paper. I love this. I've got 3 flat brushes. I have a 3/4 inch flat brush, a size 6 flat brush, and a size 10. These are not particularly fancy. They're all Princeton brushes. Got my Daniel Smith paints. I have 2 jars of water and my paper towels. You know, I think what I'm going to do is actually put another constraint on myself. I have a bit of a bias towards cool colors, and I use a lot of greens and blues and turquoises and things like that, dark grays, navy blues. And my daughter was giving me a hard time recently, like, Mom, why don't you ever use warm colors? So maybe that's my challenge to myself today, is to use a warm color palette. So I think I will do that, just so I'm not so overwhelmed by so many paints. Okay, so first I want to, I really like this Indian red color. It's like an earthy color. So I'm going to start with that one, and I'm going to do my first flat brush stroke. There we go. I actually might make that a little thicker. Oh, soften the edge there. That's kind of nice. All right, I don't want to overwork that. This is a granulating color, which is one of the things I love about it, but I want to make sure I'm not overworking that line. This is just an exercise. I'm reminding myself. I don't care if it actually looks good. I'm doing this for some fun. This is Hansa Yellow Deep here that I'm using. I'm going to put a little bit here on the palette. Just probably should have done that for the Indian red. I think I'm just going to do a separate one here. These exercises are also really good for practicing your brush control. So if you're doing this along with me and you're not getting perfect lines, don't worry about it. It's literally just practice. You know what I might do? Instead of wasting that pigment, I just dipped it in some water, and I'm going to do a lighter shade of yellow, and I might do it parallel to this one. Parallel-ish. Oh, maybe I'll do an angled one. See, I'm adjusting because I am not being super careful, and it wasn't a great line, but I actually don't mind that. Okay, wash my brush. I might do, I've got my smallest brush here. What if I put this pinky color, quinacridone rose, next? And I might run it across these. I like some of the dry brush that I'm getting there. And I think her card talked about using this as a way to practice washes, but I kind of like that. So I'm just going to leave it instead of making a new line. But I will do a second line, and I might just do it vertically. And it's a little bit wonky, but that's okay. That will do. All right, so I'm just going to keep on going here. I might keep alternating brushes. I kind of liked that. What if I mix some of this quinacridone rose with this Nancy yellow deep? Get an orange there. Let's see that. Oh, that's pretty. I also like that I didn't fully mix it on the palette, and so you can still see that some of the differences there in the yellow and rose together. Now I might dilute that again. And I just do another one here. This is also just a really nice way to get to know your colors too. Okay, switch brushes. Now this is Hansa Yellow Light. It's a bright, like almost a cool yellow. Looks fluorescent to me in this light. What if I do a curved line? There's nothing that says I can't do a curved line, right? That's fun. It's funny, that felt kind of weird doing a curved line when it felt like, well, that wasn't on the card, but seriously, this is my sketchbook, right? I'm going to try like the different reds that come in this palette. This is like a fire engine red, the Pyrrole Scarlet, and it's lovely. Some water. Was there really a rule that said these lines have to go from one place to from one edge to the other? I don't think so. So I'm just going to do some little lines here. It's kind of fun. It's just turning into like a line exploration now. And also look at these colors blending together on the page. That I really like that. I think it's cool. How about some more of the earthy tones? There's this raw sienna light. I've not really used that very much, so let's have a try of that. So I might leave that dry brush there. I kind of like that. I'm going to put in some burnt umber. And because I really like the Indian red, I'm going to do some more of that, but with a thin brush, and maybe this a darker. It almost looks like gouache, right? It's so opaque. It's one of the things I love about it. You can water it down and get it to granulate, or you can paint it like that and it's just so thick. I feel like I need some more thick lines here. What color do I want them though? What haven't I used? Oh, I haven't used quinacridone gold. How have I missed that? I love quinacridone gold. What do I want more of? Yes, deep red. Because I've got these little lines here, I might just do some more up here. Try and balance it out a little bit. And again, it doesn't need to be perfect. This is just having fun. And I might do little lines there. Do I want to do anything else? I could drop my paintbrush on the paper. That's just awesome. I haven't used permanent alizarin crimson yet, right? This is like a deep, I guess it's a cool red. Where do I want this? I think I want another line that goes down this way. If I mix that with a little bit of the Indian red, put some dark just down in this corner here. All right, I think I might call it because it's been 15 minutes and I think that's what I would like my limit to be. I was going to try and do it in 10. Let's see how this looks. I should probably wait until this dries, but I don't want to. Okay, this one. This tape creates a really nice border. And it just comes off so easy, even on something that's not the world's greatest paper, which I appreciate. Well, there's day one of my watercolor color meditation deck. Thanks for this prompt, Lisa Solomon. I don't know you, but hey, that just created something fun and I like it. And I'm actually really glad I have decided to do this because now I'm actually feeling really excited about the rest of the month. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have some fun with your paints this month. And yeah, let's go.